that fight easily. Well known to boxing fans, been fighting since the age of 7 in what they tough man contest at the age of 7 in Oklahoma. The only rules were no biting and kicking allowed. So in the ring comes TommyMorrison. He said he needs to go 10 rounds. He needs to prove to people that he's not going to wear out. The one loss on his record, as you saw here on TVKO, to Ray Mercer, and 25 knockouts.
It was a very scary knockout, one of the most brutal I've seen really in my careers in the boxing business, and unnecessarily took a few punches too many at the end. You know, in the defense of the referee, he really had a hard time getting by Mercer throwing those punches, because Mercer had Morrison backed into a corner there and was hard to get in.
I had to tell the tape. It was Tony Perez, the referee that night, Joe. 5 years older as Halstead, similar in height. Morrison is heavier and a 1-inch reach advantage for what that's worth here this evening. And some CompuBox statistics, Joe.
All right, here we go. We've got Morrison versus Mercer, and he was doing quite well up until the time that he got knocked out. You know, 50% of his punches. Now look at this. Halstead against Tomaszek. Now, who? Tomaszek, 61%. I don't think Muhammad Ali on his best day landed 61% of his punches. But nevertheless, this is a guy from Oklahoma that he fought, and that's the stat they have. I would have liked to have seen the stat against Greg Page or Tony Tubbs or Buster Douglas.
Our Nevada state rules, 10-point must system, no standing 8 count, and now the 3 knockdown rule will be in effect, unlike our last fight. Saved by the bell only in the last round, and this is a 10-round fight, and only the referee can stop the action. So let's go to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for the pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following officials have been assigned to ringside to score this bout on a 10-point must system. They are Patricia Jarman, Dave Moretti, and Dalby Shirley. And when the bell rings, the man in charge, referee Toby Gibson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, Top Rank Incorporated and the King of Beers Budweiser presents 10 rounds of boxing. This is in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the royal blue trunks and weighs in at an even 214 pounds from Midwest City, Oklahoma. His professional record, 77 victories, 59 KOs, 8 defeats, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, the very colorful Jerry Wimpy Halstead. And his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the stars and stripes with black trim and weighing in at 223 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Kansas City, he brings a professional record of 29 victories with 25 KOs. Only 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
I take his robe off now. Okay, gentlemen, I'm giving you both your instructions in your respective dressing rooms. I want to reiterate. I want no late hit out, intentional late hit after the bell, no intentionally hitting the man while he's down, and obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you.
Somebody's going to have to take that bandana off sooner or later. Oh, there it is.
Nice look between the two boxers. Yeah. Total career rounds, and Halstead has lasted past the 6th round his career 27 times. Morrison has never fought that distance.
You know, with that record Halstead has, he really should be in the Boxing Hall of Fame.
All those wins, but all in Oklahoma. Oh, Morrison been under a sun lamp, and here's the bronze boxer here against Wimpy Halstead. Well, he's supposed to be training in a gym.
Equipped with sun lamp, masseuse, and facial therapist. But no, right here you can see TommyMorrison starting out a lot slower than he did against Ray Mercer. By this time, he had already thrown probably 15, 20 punches against Mercer. Here he's thrown 1 jab so far and landed a good solid.
Come on.
Morrison's people say what they're trying to get him to do is relax, not be too aggressive, but while you're relaxing, keep up the defense. That's the trick.
Come on, now hold, box it out here. Box it out here. Okay, stop punching.
Well, it's the second time Halstead has really slipped underneath Morrison's left arm and hit him to the body pretty well, and that's a sign of his experience right there. He's gotten inside and landed a couple decent shots to Morrison's body.
Toby Gibson, an active referee thus far. A little over a minute gone in the initial round.
Okay, tough punch. Mix it up, come in and quit holding. Tough punch, tough punch.
Real sluggish start midway through the first round.
Nice left hook by TommyMorrison, but Halstead put out his jab and really kind of stunned Morrison there for a second.
I think it was the jab that woke up Morrison.
That's right.
Morrison big swing and a miss, and then digs the right hand that Halstead claims was low.
Right, exactly. That did. It landed on the back of the gluteus maximus there, and Halstead complained.
Morrison with a strong right hand to the body, and now punching in the clinches.
Of course,
Hold you, come here.
Of course, Halstead punching to the back
mix it up
of
inside and quit holding and wrestling. Let's go.
punching to the back of TommyMorrison's kidneys, which is an illegal punch there, getting him back to that low blow.
The story goes, and I don't know if it's true, that once in Bismarck, North Dakota, Wimpy Halstead swung and missed so bad that he came around and hit himself in the back of the head, and down he went. I find that a little bit far-fetched, but that's part of the roar and allure of Wimpy Halstead.
No shit.
Of course, out of those 80-some-odd fights, Wimpy Halstead using all the dirty tricks, and he gave a little lace to the face of TommyMorrison here.
Are you saying Halstead's a dirty fighter?
Well, I'm saying right now he's getting a little irritated, and he's getting Morrison back for that low blow. And so far, he's given him kidney punches and a lace to the face. And they just banged heads on the inside
Watch your head, gentlemen. Watch your heads.
This is just the first round.
Another big swing and miss with the left hand. Fascinating first round. And apparently Halstead wants to stand.
Water. I have it.
Okay.
Good, take it slowly.
Relax a second. Relax.
You
Feel all right? Feel good? Okay.
Copy.
Listen to me.
You know, slipping. And every now and then, you got to, when you get to close to you, got to throw that name right hand. And don't get, no, you don't need to rough stuff. You outbox this guy. This guy don't have it, man. He don't know. He may even hit you. Get in there. Can you serve there for me? Listen to me. Listen to me. Relax. It's not me.
All right. Clenches. Let's keep that head. Keep yourself up.
See Halstead pulling the George Foreman, standing, not using the stool. Frank Newton telling him, you don't need to be a dirty fighter, just do your thing.
That's right. He said, forget the rough housing. Just use your experience and try to outbox TommyMorrison. And in a sense, TommyMorrison has made a couple mistakes. Instead of using that jab, he's jumped in with a couple hooks and missed terribly with it. So he's really got to set up his punches with his jab.
There was another punch that strayed low at the belt line. Yeah, he was warned to keep him up.
That's right. Toby Gibson is right on top of that.
That right hand connected. Halstead was moving backwards at the time to the body.
Halstead a little busier in that first round. Threw 29 punches, landed 9 for 31%. Morrison 20 punches, landed 6 for 30%.
Boy, Morrison snapping Halstead's head back with the jab. Then the left hook connect.
And he hurt him with that left hook, but that's what set it up with those two jabs, Len.
You heard the ooh from the crowd when the left hook of TommyMorrison connected.
Let's go. Let him up.
Morrison firing the combination and complaining about the holding on.
Well, you got to figure Wimpy Halstead is still a little bit hurt, and he wants to try to tire TommyMorrison out. No better way than to hold and make Morrison grapple a little bit. But Morrison isn't grappling. He's just kind of dropping his, being very loose on the inside.
Another low right hand from Morrison midway through the second round. That right hook to the body is straying low from TommyMorrison. Exchange of jabs. Toby Gibson, an active referee here this evening, through 2 rounds.
He's got close to 500 pounds of fighter in there, and he's really going to have his work cut out for him if this goes a few rounds.
Again, the crisp jab from Morrison, snapping the head back on Halstead. Before it set up a big left hook.
Stop punching. Stop punching. Let's go. Come on.
Well, it's been a cleaner round.
Well, Frank Newton, Halstead's trainer, really, Toby Gibson ought to give him a gold medal for that, because he made life for Toby Gibson a lot easier in the ring by telling him that.
Okay, no wrestling. Come on.
Inside of 30 seconds remaining in the second round. Another good combination from TommyMorrison. And Halstead hangs on again, talking to him. They don't like each other.
You're going to get his point. Let's go.
A warning for a point deduction if he continues to hold the way he has been. Crowd liked that round a lot better.
Pull the notes out.
Let's go back to the round here where Morrison opened up that left hook for himself by using that jab. And here it is. One, and he follows it again. Right here, steps in again. Two, fell a little short.
Give me a clean break on my stand.
The second one fell a little short, but the first one was a nice stiff jab. I think we have a sequence here where there, the left hook followed up by a feinting jab. And that wobbled Wimpy Halstead and, of course, sent him reeling back a little bit. You know, Halstead in his 80-something fights has only been stopped 4 times. So, you know, chances are in his favor that he's not going to get stopped by Morrison. And if Morrison does stop him, it's a big feather in his cap. Irregardless of where he's had his fights.
Back in your corner. Back in your corner, both of you.
Round 3 of a 10-rounder. No title on the line here. Heavyweights, Wimpy Halstead in the blue. TommyMorrison in the red, white, and blue. And black.
Okay, come on.
Halstead landed a jab to try to get something going. Another one from Wimpy Halstead. Morrison in a momentary relaxing mood. That jab continues to snap that head of Wimpy Halstead. Strong weapon from TommyMorrison tonight, the jab.
Of course, Wimpy Halstead's whole game plan in his training camp here are to extend TommyMorrison late into the fight. They're hoping what occurred against Morrison will happen tonight. But at the rate of what TommyMorrison is doing, he looks very good, and he does look like a more relaxed fighter in this fight.
And conversely, Morrison's people wouldn't mind a longer fight to dispel the myths and prove to Tommy that he can last longer in fights.
That's right.
So both of them are looking for a longer fight. Morrison again landing on Halstead.
But look how Halstead really maintained his balance and his composure. Of course, hitting TommyMorrison to the back of the head. That's a rabbit punch, and he's getting warned for it.
Halstead with the showboat act with the right hand.
That's a little demoralizing. Morrison hit him with some great shots, and Halstead came back rough.
And the crowd now squarely on the side of Wimpy Halstead with a minute approaching in the 3rd round. The crowd likes this guy.
Now let's see, Wimpy Halstead, what has he done tonight? Rabbit punch. Oh, another low blow by Morrison.
Last time, Tommy, keep him up.
Lacing and a forearm. He's really used every dirty trick in the book tonight.
And a warning from Tony Gibson on the low blow. TommyMorrison again.
That's right. He hit him with the right uppercut, and it strayed very low, right on the between the hip and the thigh.
Inside of 30 seconds of round 3.
Okay, stop punching. Come on.
And a good exchange.
Stop punching.
Wimpy Halstead is a very awkward fighter, really. Well, we've got a timeout here. What's this for? We're taking a point away. I believe that point was taken away from Wimpy Halstead. Am I mistaken?
For holding?
That? I'm not exactly sure.
Clean it up inside. Stop it. Time!
And they didn't want to stop, but that's it in the third.
And Halstead walking to the wrong corner there. The neutral corner.
Slow.
Towel off my mouth.
It's not okay, I know. But he hit you over 3 or 4 times. Just nice clean. Throw jabs, throw jabs, throw jabs, throw jabs. The guy, I like jabs. Every time he's doing a couple jabs, shoot the right hand, baby, okay? Relax. Don't let this guy blow your cool. You can outbox this guy, Wimpy. You're doing it. You outboxing him.
And Michael Katz, how have you scored it through 3?
Well, taking away a point from Wimpy for holding, as the referee did in the last round, I have it by 2 points for Morrison, but he shows a little bit of lack of defense without his usual aggression. He's just standing there. He's getting hit more than he usually does at this stage.
Well, Michael, that's what his camp was talking about to us this morning. That's the fine line they're trying to dance. Less aggressive, but more defense. Many fighters, their best defense is their offense. Here we go in round 4. Well, and holding on again. That, you know, you're already taken 1 point away from him.
We can add a headlock to the list of tactics that Wimpy Halstead has used tonight.
A 1-point deduction in the 3rd round from Halstead for holding.
Stop punching. Let's go. Let him go.
And Halstead obviously concerned with the big left hook of TommyMorrison because he's keeping that right hand planted right next to the side of his face when Morrison gets close enough within striking distance.
Okay, stop wrestling. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Let him up.
Toby Gibson with his hands full again. Another point. One more time.
Let's go.
Halstead's now lost 2 points.
Stop punching. Let him up.
And Halstead's talking to the referee, Toby Gibson.
Well, Wimpy Halstead, there's a late hit off of a break. But Wimpy Halstead feels that these points are being deducted unfairly. And, nice little left hook to the liver from Halstead. But if he gets warned 1 or 2 more times or another point, he could be disqualified in this fight. It wouldn't be beyond Toby Gibson to do it to him.
Stop punching. Stop punching.
And Halstead again, while he's held with the left hand, is punching with the right. That's exactly what Toby Gibson's talking to him about. Good right hand from TommyMorrison. Halstead shakes his head. So relaxation is one thing, Joe, but I'm looking for that big TommyMorrison flourish, which we haven't seen at all.
Well, he's having a difficult time. Wimpy Halstead is mauling, he's mugging, he's doing every trick in the book, really, to try to throw off TommyMorrison's game plan, and he's doing it quite well.
Halstead landing with the right hand, well, holds with the left.
I mean, those are borderline rabbit punches that he's throwing, but it's a legal punch to throw those short chopping right hands to the side of the head, and they're irritating, if nothing else, on the inside.
Morrison sneaks in the left hand. Final seconds of the 4th round.
Morrison has really got to follow that jab and get off quick to the body once he gets on the inside. He's given Halstead a chance to grab onto him.
Stop punching. Let's go. Stop. Corner.
And that does it for the 4th round.
That's right. Keep pushing him. Only when you start jabbing.
All right, here we go through 4 rounds. Halstead has really been frustrating Morrison. There's one of the few times that Morrison has been able to land a clean shot. Of course, Wimpy says no. It shakes it off, grabs him behind the head, and, well, later on he would have just spun Morrison off. But these are the type of tactics he's been using all night.
Stay inside as long as they're clean. If it's dirty, I'm breaking them.
You be tight inside there, okay? Now, what you got to do is you got to change your level, get it below here, and start using your uppercuts and your hooks. Be violent inside.
He's getting on top of my head, Bird, like we knew he would.
Okay, then that's because you're getting in too close before you start punching.
Right before he
Punch to
does
get
that.
in. Right before he comes to the clinch.
And Halstead continues to stand between rounds. And Morrison in a two-way conversation with Tommy Vergetz.
Well, Vergetz wants him to get off. Don't put his head inside first and then let Halstead maul him and pull his head down. He wants him to get inside and get off quickly before he gets a chance to grab on. Good combination. And Halstead down. And hurt.
5, 6, 7.
He's trying to shake his head off and he's recuperating.
Give me your glove. You all right?
That's it. That's it.
And a good call from Toby Gibson. Good call.
Halstead said, "Where am I?" if I'm not mistaken. But he didn't wait for the pervert. Usually the question for the referee is, "Where are you?" He gave him the answer before the question.
He said he was barely all right at answering to the question.
Was that what it was? Well, whatever the answer was, it wasn't the right one for Toby Gibson, and he stopped it, and probably deservingly so.
Well, did you see those feet come up on the knockdown?
Oh, man.
A good left-right combination from TommyMorrison. Take a look at this.
Look, well, this was a devastating right hand, and it was one of the few punches that Morrison was able to land throughout the fight, and it was infrequently. Here we go. Slips, boom, right over the jab of Wimpy Halstead, and followed it with a nice short left uppercut that really snuck in there, and there
Those
goes.
feet go flying.
Boy. Eyes closed and glazed right there. Here we go again. Slips the jab right over the top.
Right,
everything
and the
behind
left
it.
uppercut. Down he goes. At this point, I thought Halstead was really out of it. He tried to shake off the cobweb. He sure shook his head from side to side, but the good safe stoppage by Toby Gibson.
When asked if he was all right, he said no, because I think Halstead's been around long enough to know that the end was imminent, really, at that point.
Well, but he's only 0-4 in Las Vegas.
Consistent.
Well, like many other people who come to this town, 0 for Vegas.
Including myself, and I'm going to go up into the ring right now and
Joe.
speak to TommyMorrison.
So Morrison wanted to prove he would not run out of gas in the latter rounds, but again, a 5th round stoppage. That was the round that Mercer stopped him. So let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Toby Gibson has decided that Jerry Wimpy Halstead was unable to continue after that knockdown. The official time, 30 seconds, that's 3-0, 30 seconds of the 5th round. The winner by TKO, his record now 30 victories, 25 KOs, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
And a pat on the back from Wimpy Halstead. So the bad blood that was initially before the fight not carrying over to the post-fight. TommyMorrison now with 26 knockouts, 30-1. And Michael Katz with us at ringside. Good safe stoppage, Michael. Do you agree?
Oh, I think I couldn't really hear, but it sounded as if the referee asked him, "Are you all right?" And it looked like Wimpy just said, "No, I'm not all right." I think it was a good stoppage anyway, because I think he would have been hurt after that. Impressed with Morrison's patience. However, when he is not being aggressive the way he usually does in the all-out attack, he seems to be liable to the jab of all punches. If you look at under both eyes, there's a little puffiness. It just seems that, you know, we still have a lot more work to do with this young man who does have talent, which is more than you can say for some of these other heavyweight contenders.
All right, good points, Michael Katz. Let's go up into the ring. My partner, Joe Goosen, standing by with the winner, TommyMorrison. Joe, it's yours.
All right, here we go. TommyMorrison, this had been one of your most awkward, toughest fights, irregardless of the fact that you won it. Was he the most difficult fighter you fought?
I wouldn't say probably the difficult, but as far as ring savvy, he has a lot of it, and it just took a while. I think we showed some signs of maturity, and that's just being patient and wait till the shot came and being there to take advantage of it, and that's what we did.
How frustrating was it to have him doing all the mauling and lacing and elbowing and everything else he was doing to you?
Well, I don't think we were prepared ourselves in every way. I don't think there was anything that he could have done that we would have been surprised about. But you know, the main thing is we stayed relaxed. We got a few rounds out of it, and that's what we came here to do. Now we feel it's you know, one positive step in the right direction to become a heavyweight champion of the world.
Did this fight go as planned? Is this how you wanted the fight to turn out?
I think I couldn't have read it better, if I wrote it myself. We're very excited about, about the crowd and about being here in Vegas again. It was an exciting fight for us, and again, we feel like we made some positive steps, and now we're going to continue to make those steps until we get to where we're going.
I understand, though, that you want to step up in competition. You said you wanted 2 tune-up fights, and this one was a rough tune-up fight. Where do you want to go from here?
Well, at this point, we have a fight, I think, scheduled in sometime in April, and we're taking one step at a time. And at this point, I feel that I'm gaining the maturity and the experience I need in the later rounds. Hopefully, we continue to do that, and everything will work out.
Great, Tommy. Bill,
just what we're planning. We're planning to move up in competition. Our opponents from here on will all be in the top 10, top 15 opponents. We'd like to have Tommy in the top 2 or 3 by the end of this year.
This April fight that you're talking about, who are you looking for?
There could be any one of 2 or 3 opponents.
Any names?
None names yet.
When are we going to hear the name?
You know how difficult. Once you mention a name, it's very difficult to get that opponent. You know that.
Okay. I understand.
I'd like to say, hello to all my friends down in Texas, and my girlfriend also.
All right, Tommy. Glad to have you back on TVKO in a winning fashion, and hope to see you again soon. All right, Bill Caton. Len, back to your ringside.
Okay, thank you, Joe. And we'll take a look at the final CompuBox statistics before we head back to Canberra Marshall. We'll do that in just a second. Morrison's people told us this morning that what they want is to get him some rounds, but they don't want the opponents to be good enough so that when he makes a mistake, he'll pay the price. So I think, despite what they might have said, they want a couple of easier opponents still going on down the road in the next 6 to 8 months. So here are those final statistics. Well, even number of punches thrown. Obviously, Morrison landed a lot more, and I can assure you in the power punch department that even though they threw a similar number of punches, Tommy Morrison's a lot more powerful. And you saw what happened with the 5th round knockout, the right-left combination, and that took care of a game. Jerry Wimpy Halstead tonight here at Caesars Pavilion.